Sup people, my name's Multiplier and today I'm going to show you the difference between sets and projects within Ableton Live. So it's really not obvious what the difference is, and until about a year ago I didn't even have any idea what the difference was. So right, best way to do it is by showing you, otherwise you'll forget. So right, let's we've got a very basic, as of yet unsaved project set thing. We just did file, new set, and I haven't saved anything yet. And we've got a very basic project. It took all of about 4 milliseconds to make. Got some kicks and a basic loop. Haven't even listened to it because that's the sort of producer I am. So let's do file, save, live, set as. Let's go into our main folder where, let's just say music production, and we'll just stick it as a, and with that, not in a folder. So we're going to call it something like song. There you go, cool. And now you notice at the top it says song and then kind of squared brackets song. So basically if we have a look in Finder and then go over to music production, we should now see somewhere it'll say song project, something like that. Oh, did I save it in the right place? I might not have saved it in the right place. Where did I save it? I must have saved it somewhere. I swear I got, there you go, song, there you go. Song. So we have this down here. I wonder if you can do some sort of zoom. Right, so song project. So if we now kind of double click it or click this arrow, we're going to do a double click. We're now within the song project. So see how we have kind of Ableton project info and then song.als. Well, that song.als is a set, and then that main folder we're in is a project. So sets are contained within projects. Now there's a whole bunch of other stuff that's contained within the projects as well. So what we're going to do is, because at the moment what this set is doing is pointing to all these samples. So these samples aren't actually contained within the project yet. So if we move the project about, if we moved, where's that file gone? If we moved this song project about, it's going to lose where those samples from because it won't know where to look. So what we need to do is basically pull all these samples into the project. Now there's two ways of doing it. You can either go to View, File Manager, Manage Project, and then this shows you basically everything that's in the project. So you've got the location, all the sets that are in it, any presets, any clips or stuff like that. And it says there are no missing files. And it says under external files, this project uses external files. Live can collect them for you and copy them into the project folder, which will be this song project, that kind of project folder. So sets are contained within projects, remember that. Now if we clicked yes here, that would collect all these samples into that project folder. But I'm going to show you a better habit to get into, and that is instead of doing file, save, live, set as, every now and then just do collect all and save. And that saves it, but also collects any samples you've used, i.e. these guys, because we've used some samples, collects them into the project folder. So we're going to do collect all and save. And I think by default, this one down here is on no, so I always just click yes, just so it pulls in everything it needs to, so any files from elsewhere or other projects. Hit OK, let us do its thing. Might take a while if you haven't done it before. And now when we go into the song project, see how it says samples? That folder wasn't there before. So all of these are basically under imported. These are the samples that we used. So now when we move that project around, all those samples are going to move around with it. And if we say moved it onto an external hard drive and then loaded up this project at a later date, it's not going to be a big error message appearing saying missing media files. So it's really important you know that. Unless you kind of actively collect all your samples into your project, they won't be in your project and Ableton will lose them if you move them about. Or if you say, see how it's in the folder of kicks, if I was to say move that sample pack folder around, or say move it to a different part of my hard drive or rename it, unless I had collected all the samples into this project, Ableton would get confused because it would look for this kick and it would see that it wasn't where I thought it was, and it would just go no. So that's really important now that you know kind of where samples are. Also, if we did something like right click freeze and then flatten, basically if we'd done some processing and kind of re-rendered out a particular clip, if we then collected it all, so basically then collecting that new sample into the project as well, it would also appear, oh, load up the wrong thing. Let's go into here. Now in samples, there's also like another folder called processed. So similarly, if so it says frozen, so now's that loop we've frozen. So pretty much any sample that is in your project, by doing file, collect all and save, or that other method using view, file manager, that basically allows you to collect it all into the project. I've said that about 3 times already because it's super important, and it will save you a load of headaches once you get your head around it. Cool. So I keep closing down the stupid thing. There we go, cool. So now we have the song project and we have a set and a project. Well, what's the difference between a set and a project? Why is there these two like different things? So let's say we want to either just have another version of this song or another mix, or even if we just want to create a whole separate, almost like just like a backup version of this. What we could do is file, save, live set as, and then if we save it to within this project folder, so if you look up here, it says song project. So we're saving it within that project. Call it something like, actually what I need to do, let's change this up. So let's drag a different loop in here. Let's do something like that. So let's say we've got a different, now it's different, file, save, live set as. So if we now save this within the project as song arrangement 2, say, just for demonstration purposes. And now at the top it says song 2, or song arrangement 2 is in song. So you can see the squares brackets thing is the project we're in, and this first bit up here is the name of the actual set we're using. So now if we go into, I need to stop closing that down. If we go into the song project, we see we have 2 sets. So remember, sets are contained within projects. And the cool thing about this is, for a start, any samples that are basically in any set within a project can use the same samples. So if you have, say, a really, really big project with, could be a few gigabytes worth of samples, especially if you've rendered out whole entire tracks, kind of frozen them, it can save just hard drive space because you're not basically duplicating the same samples on your hard drive millions and millions of times, especially if you have lots of different arrangements, lots of different mixes, lots of different versions. It's nice just to be able to reference the same samples. But it can also do this other cool thing, which is, let's say let's go back into, well, we're in arrangement 2, say. Let's say we wanted to either change up, say, this loop 1, but we preferred it as it was in the original arrangement. We could go over here to where it says current project under places. Now, if you've got Ableton Live 8, this will be a different button somewhere. But it'll be somewhere on the left, but the buttons will change when it moved to Live 9. So click current project, and see how it now says kind of got the song, the original, and then the arrangement 2. If we go into the original and pull down this, see how I've got each individual track now. So we have the kicks and the loop 1. So let's say we wanted to change out this loop 1 with the original one. If we just double click this loop 1 from the original song, remember we're in arrangement 2 now. So into current project and under the original song, double click loop 1, give it a second to do its thing. Actually, or do you drag? You have to drag. Let's try dragging. There you go. Perfect. Drag it out. And now we can just get rid of the original one. And now we have our loop 1 from that other set. So you can see how if you create lots of different arrangements or different versions, it's quite nice just to save it as a different set. You can always go back to the original one or pull out various tracks. And it's just a nice way to kind of give yourself some more workflow options. Can be particularly useful if, say, this happens all the time. You're working on a song, but then you got a cool riff, but you come up with a whole other riff, but you're like, I don't want to erase the other riff I've come up with, but this might turn into a whole new song. Let's just save it as a different arrangement or a different version, and then I can always go back to it or pull out the riff from the original into the new one and just kind of do things as and when you like, just by saving lots of sets within a particular project. And of course you can do this as many times as you like, and yeah, it's pretty awesome really. And I think that's pretty much everything you need to know about sets and projects. Yeah, that's all basically it. Lots of sets within projects. It's up to you. Pretty much for the first year, I never really saved more than one set within a project. And what I would do, I still do it now sometimes because I just don't know why. So see how I have like massive track, preset pack, demo, V1 project, V2 project, etc. What would have been more useful is if I just saved versions 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 within a single project, but I didn't because just didn't. So it's up to you. You don't have to use sets within projects, but it's nice to have that option there just in case you need it. Cool shit. But Multiplier, it's been a 10-minute video. Knowledge, informed, etc. ... to be continued. Not really. Bye.